Welcome to Sue's Kitchen. Tonight we're making a pasta dish. Fresh tomatoes from the farmer's market, fresh basil from my garden with some shrimp and a little bit of kick to it. We're going to use some crushed red pepper and a little bit of wine. So in the saute pan I have some olive oil with some garlic, which I sauteed. Once that garlic started to sizzle, I added the fresh tomatoes. And I'm going to show you, while that's cooking, I'm going to show you how to do a technique, how to dice your tomato. You always, when you're cooking and you're using a professional chef knife, any sharp knife, you want to use the claw method. Okay, so you take both your hands and you do the claw. That's the claw. This is so that when you're chopping, your fingers don't get cut off. Because if you had your fingers like this, you could accidentally cut them. So we do the claw method. So what you do is you take the tomato and you slice towards the core of the tomato. One. Now I'm going to do another slice. Then after you do that, holding the tomato, you take from the tip of with the tip of your knife from that core, and you do your nice slits. You try to do them even length apart, so you have a nice, your dices are the same size. So so you do a cut, just to review, you do a cut with the knife towards the core, 2 cuts, as many cuts to get an even amount with the tomato. Then you do your cuts, this is just a review, from the core of the tomato down, even width apart. When that's done, you do your final cut. So with your hands and the fingers in the claw position, we're going to do our final cut. So we have our tomato diced, and we can add that to the pan. So this is in a saute pan on a medium heat. I'm going to add my fresh basil. I'm going to add some pepper flakes. And you can add, if you don't like it so hot, just add a few pepper flakes. If you like it with a nice amount of kick, just add some more. We're going to salt. I guess you'd salt it to taste, maybe about a teaspoon. So we're going to let that reduce. We're going to let that cook down for a minute or two. These are fresh tomatoes, so they don't need to really cook, they don't even need to cook that long. You could actually even make this, if you want to pair this with pasta. Traditional in Italy, they would take the fresh tomatoes, they'd cook the pasta, they'd dice the tomatoes and just toss the pasta with those tomatoes uncooked. But tonight we're going to do it by reducing those tomatoes down. And then to finish this sauce off, I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter. And a little bit of cream. About a tablespoon or 2 of heavy cream and a tablespoon of butter. So this dish is influenced from France. So this is more of a northern Italian dish. Dishes from northern Italy were influenced by French cooking, and French cooking traditionally uses a lot of butter and cream. Okay. So now that's cooked enough, we're going to add our shrimp. I'm going to add the shrimp to the dish. Stir it all together. This shrimp is shrimp that I had. It was already cooked. If you have shrimp that's not cooked, you would just cook it for just about 3-4 minutes. You don't want your shrimp to overcook. It just takes about 4 minutes in the pan. Being that this shrimp is already cooked, that's just what I had on hand tonight. We're just basically going to heat the shrimp through, and then it's ready. I'm going to taste this. As a chef, as a cook, you always taste. You want to taste it just to make sure the flavors are balanced. It has enough salt. Perfect. So you can serve this over rice or fresh pasta and mangia bene. Thank you for being in Sue's kitchen tonight.